Hey guys, how are you all doing? It's Cam back at you again. Today I bring the answer to a question I get all the time, which is, in its basic form, I'm buying a new guitar, which do I get? A Charvel or an EVH Stripe Series? And a lot of you guys want to know which is better for hard rock and the various little differences, and of course I own both, so I thought I'd give you guys a little lowdown of the differences and hopefully guide you in the right direction to finding the best guitar for you. In the meantime, I'm going to talk about the EVH Stripe Series. Kicking off with the Stripe Series, just to let you know, the range was introduced in 2013 in 3 finishes to begin with: the red, black and white, the black and white, and the black and yellow, basically the 3 famous Van Halen finishes. Then the Circles came along. I think it might have been 9 to 12 months later. It might even have been the next NAMM show. I think just out of popular demand, and the Stripe Series caught on. I'm just going to give you a lowdown of the main selling points of the EVH guitars. I'm not going to go through every single detail. So to begin, basswood body, a maple neck with a maple fingerboard. Another key selling point of this guitar is the Wolfgang humbucker. If you want a really punchy, warm humbucker that's just, for me personally, to die for, with any passive humbucker before you start going into active territory, the Wolfgang humbucker is awesome. Cleans out really nicely too. It's not too powerful and it's not weedy either. It's amazing. Also the FRT-1000 tremolo system. It's basically the original Floyd Rose but just made in Korea, and there's no huge difference. Maybe the odd bit of clunking, but with this guitar it doesn't matter. It's not built for subtle tremolo uses. It's just not. So if you are using the tremolo, you know about it. You've got to push down quite a bit. The detuner, which is really, really cool. For Floyd Rose guitars, it was a revolution, I suppose, because you can transfer from drop D to standard tuning without having to unclamp, which is just the best thing in the world if you play the type of guitars I do. Another funny feature as well is the hand-striped graphic. I have no proof of this. I read it in an article somewhere. It might have been not long after they came out. I would try and retrieve it for you, but I don't know where it is. The graphics themselves take quite a bit of time. I believe when it comes to putting the stripes down, they were done by hand, but obviously for consistency, there is like an automated template that they follow. The neck on this guitar has, just simply for comfort, it's amazing, but it has an oil finish. So it's really, it's a little grippy in parts, but that's no problem for me. It feels like you've played it for years. It's really, really nice. Another funny thing too with this guitar, just before we wrap this one up and then move on to the Charvel, is the fluctuations in weight. You could say that about any other guitar, but I've really noticed it with Stripe Series over the years. This guitar is the Stripe Series. It's the lightest guitar I've ever held, ever. To the point of being suspicious. You could be carrying it and you don't know you have it light. Whereas the VH1, the Van Halen one that we also own, is really heavy. Really heavy when I say I've held Les Pauls that are lighter than it. It's a really heavy guitar. The difference is just amazing. Exactly the same specs on paper, just a different graphic, and the weight difference was just unbelievable. They both sound great and feel great, but that's just one difference. And this might annoy some of you, and I do apologize for this, but because I'm on YouTube, I get it from all angles. you do run the risk, if you buy a Stripe Series, of, this is what people have said to me anyway, of looking like a Van Halen fanboy, in quotation marks. And who cares, because Van Halen's cool. But you do run that risk if you were playing live or whatever. I think it's more just a product for you to keep in the comfort of your own home, maybe. But it's up to you, of course. On that slightly tender note, let's move on to the Charvel. So, I hold in my hands a Charvel San Dimas, seen here in neon yellow. This one was made in 2016. I'm only going to be referring to the Charvels made in 2016 and onwards, because that's what's available now. I'll start by saying they're actually very similar guitars to the EVH I just showed you, besides the obvious differences. We have an older body as opposed to a basswood body. We have two humbuckers. We have a Seymour Duncan JB and a 59. If you're going to buy a SoCal, which is in essence the same guitar except it's got a pick guard and different humbuckers, it is in the SoCal Seymour Duncan Distortions. We have a lot more tonal variety available with the Charvel. You have, with the later models, what's known as the 6-pack of sound, which if you guys know your Charvels, you'll know this already. When you have a Charvel, when you buy it as stock, you've got, before you pull the knob out, you've got the, I just realised what I said, you've got a bridge humbucker. In the middle position, you've got the inner coils, and then in the neck position, you've just got the neck humbucker. And then engage the 6-pack of sound, and you pull the volume knob out here. You've got the outer coils in essence. So you've got in the first position, the outer coils of the bridge pickup here. Then you've got the outer coils of both pickups in the middle position. Then in the third position, you've got the outer coil of the neck pickup. So there's a lot of tonal variety there, and they're really, really nice tones indeed. We also get a tone knob as well, if that wasn't enough. It's a no-load tone knob as well, so if you turn it all the way up, it's bypassed or gone, so you'd never know it was there, you don't need to touch it. Then if you turn it down a little bit, it then engages. Some of the features that both guitars share are, of course, the maple neck with the maple fingerboard. We'll talk more about the neck in a minute. They have the same Floyd Rose, except the ones on the Charvels are back routed, and somehow, I don't know what the difference is with Floyd Roses over the years, because obviously the Stripe Series I happen to have here is a little older than this. The Floyd Roses on the newer Charvels are virtually clunk free. You could mistake them for German-made Floyd Roses, and they stay in tune just as well as each other. They're really, really great. Also, you've got the thumb wheel truss rod adjustment, which is another feature they both share, which is particularly useful. Now, as I say about the necks, everybody asks me how do they feel, what are they like together. The difference between them in terms of feel is nominal. There's no difference really. In terms of shape, the Charvel is a tad rounder. There's a bit more of a curve. And also they have a compound radius fretboard, which they both share as well, ranging from 12 to 16. So it's round up here and flat up here for lead work. Also, they get dirty very, very quickly. I play guitar a lot, so a lot of people ask me about cleaning the fretboards and stuff like that. I just use lemon oil That's one thing I've used. Both guitars have little to no finish on the necks at all. As I say, the Circles guitar, the EVH, has an oil finish, which is really, really great, really grippy, uber comfortable. And this feels just the same, except I think the manufacturing process is slightly different. I was told a little while ago they have a really thin, and when I say thin, I mean virtually non-existent, polyurethane finish just to seal the neck. And then it's worn away to the point of, as I say, non-existence, which means it's a very, very smooth neck. Smoother than the EVH, but it feels just the same as an oil finished neck. It's awesome. It's simply down to what you want. Both guitars are made to do exactly the same thing, which is rock out. If you want one really great sound, the EVH, in fact, I'll get it, considering I'm talking about it. The EVH, if you want that one great sound, you can't go wrong. Also, it cleans out really, really nicely as well, thanks to the awesomeness of the Wolfgang humbucker. The Charvel, you get a lot more tonal variety and a huge range of finishes. But the neon yellow is not available anymore, and neither is this finish, so both of these finishes I'm holding are discontinued. But you get neon pink, rocket red, aqua blue frost, black with gold hardware, which is a rarity, and a selection of different bursts and other finishes with Charvels. Whereas with the Stripe series, you just get the 3 finishes that they started out with. And also, you know, I mentioned very briefly a little while back about the risk of being called a fanboy with the EVH guitars. I, on YouTube as well, get a lot of prejudice just for the neon colours, just how they're so against tradition, I suppose. No one cares. It's so loud, it's so potent, it's cool. It's a really, really crazy sort of showman style look, and they're both brilliant. But if you want tonal variety, go for the Charvel. They feel very similar, the same is what I'm trying to say, and they are both just as good at what they're designed for. It's just how much sounds do you want, what do you need, and which guitar do you think is best for you. You're going to be paying a little bit more for a Charvel than an EVH, but they've both gone up massively in price over the years. And they really vary, Charvels, as well. You can see them for $650 in places, whereas in some others they're as high as $800. Whereas with EVHs they tend to stick between $600 and $700. Whereas a lefty, speaking of lefties, Charvel only make one lefty guitar, which is a San Dimas, we make a San Dimas and a SoCal in black, and that's it, which is a bit unfair. And then you get the EVHs only have one finish available with the lefty as well, which is, as I say, unfair, and they're also really pricey. So if people complain loud enough, I'm sure someone will hear. But nevertheless, I'm waffling on. I'd go for the Charvel personally because I use all of the features and I like having a bit more tonal variety at my disposal, but I love the EVHs also. I've uploaded a couple of little originals on here as sort of demo tapes, and I recorded a track called Dead Cat Bounce using this very guitar, whereas all the others have been done with Charvels. So that's just to give you a little idea. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll be back at you again. See ya.